It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
This Saturday, the Karani James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the 3rd Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stand, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at gotofed.com. Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Chaplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal! Run with it.
Grenada moves another step towards stamping out prettier larceny. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, April 11th, I am Sherry-Ann Noel. The Ministry of Agriculture is working with the Prettier Larceny Task Force of the RGPF to tackle head-on the problem of prettier larceny. They have demonstrated the use of a valuable piece of equipment that they hope will aid in the timely capture of those involved in theft of agricultural produce. Corporal 397 Sam, officer in charge of the Prettier Larceny Department at the Central Division of the Royal Grenada Police Force, says there is a need to step up surveillance to bring the problem under control.
We are here to demonstrate a piece of equipment that both the ministry and a private enterprise are now involved in. Basically, right, this piece of equipment would be used both in the detection, the deterrent of persons wanting to steal. Right, we are now experiencing a very high demand for soursop, and soursop is one of the major problems that we are now experiencing. With that piece of equipment, that would assist us tremendously.
Apart from soursop, a variety of root crops are also stolen from farmers who are fully in support of any method that will help reduce the losses they face as a result of theft.
The demand now for Tanya, and we have now seen a rise in bees, especially them hives, the stealing of the hives from the bee farmers.
So that bit of equipment that you're speaking of, is it one that will be introduced to other farmers on the property in order to help curb the problem?
Yes, definitely. That is why we are always here to try it and see whether or not it's going to be working. And after this, it's going to be introduced to the different farmers within the state. Yeah, it's very much the price of it is very much cheap, so at the end of the day, the farmers, it will be cushioned enough so that they can purchase it.
Chief Extension Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Randolph Shares, says the challenges and problems now faced with prettier larceny call for all hands on deck.
We describe some areas as hot spots, where you have some areas that are frequently affected by thieves, right? I may not want to name some of these areas, but there are some areas that we are focusing on, well, the RGPF is focusing on. And although we have the task force from the RGPF, we have farmer registration, a number of systems in place, you still cannot solve all the problems with prettier larceny. But we believe now with the use of that device, we can reduce the problems significantly.
In Grenada, Mr. Shares says there are approximately 9,000 active farmers.
To date, we have registered just around 7,000 farmers. I cannot give you the exact figure, but it's around 7,000. So farmers are coming forward and register. But what is important to note is that almost all of the hotels, well, all the hotels and the supermarkets, whenever farmers come to sell them stuff, they ask them for the ID, the farmer's registration. And that is a good initiative. That's a good step that the hotels and the supermarkets, restaurants and so on have taken, to ensure that they buy from authentic persons and they don't buy from thieves.
Farmers who are interested in purchasing the equipment and installing it on their farms can do so through the various district offices of the Ministry of Agriculture. Government is placing greater focus on project implementation to ensure it meets the time frame and budgetary preparations. During an interview with the Government Information Service, Minister for Infrastructure Development, Honorable Gregory Boeing, said this will ensure greater efficiency in the operations across the board.
What we have done, we have restructured the implementation unit. Previously, for every project that we have, there is a little unit in silos here and there. And we have changed this into an implementation division in a ministry that could look at implementation throughout the government. And this is of critical importance because the World Bank on the last mission, they were very pleased with the way we were doing things. Unknowing to us that these small projects, implementation units that they started in many of the islands, they were not performing too well. And if you only want to do the implemented projects that the World Bank or the donors will have financed, what happened to your internal projects? Then they suffer. But now we're looking at implementation across the board, in health, in education, in our ministry, in the Ministry of Finance, all areas. This will mean that things will be flowing smoothly on time.
Minister Bowen also spoke to the progress of government since being re-elected following the March 13 general elections last year.
I would say that we are well on our way on the trajectory to perform as we indicated to the public and to the international community. We're maintaining our growth pattern. We're on our debt to GDP trajectory. You know that we're trying to get to 55% by 2020. Although we have a few more years to do so before we would have violated any of the contractual agreements that we've had. We're looking now at our public sector investment program, our energy efficiency, savings, and primarily we are targeting that reduction in the unemployment. It is a big task, but that's one of the things that we have on our program to do.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The eyes of the world are on us more than ever. So let's take it to them. Saturday, May 4th, the Spice Mass Corporation launches Spice Mass 2019. The Caribbean's biggest summer festival. This year's launch starts with a roadshow from Ariza Car Park to the National Stadium from 3 p.m. Bring out your last year's costume and join the parade. It's one big experience with a display of fancy mask, traditional mask, Moko Jumbi, and the most envied Jab Jab. The official opening is at the National Stadium, featuring your favorite soca artists and DJs, Calypso Monarch, Steel Pan Champions, and presentations of the 2019 Carnival Queen contestants, plus displays of 2019 costumes, SMC show tickets, and other attractions to be won. Saturday, May 4th, the National Stadium, the launch of Spice Mass 2019. Bring out the entire family. Log on to spicemassgrenada.com for more.
Welcome back. The Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, and CCRIF, SPC, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to develop climate-resilient fisheries and aquaculture industries in the region. The purpose of the MOU is to formalize collaboration among the Caribbean Oceans and Aquaculture Sustainability Facility Coast initiative, which will help to reduce the risk that climate change poses to food security and nutrition and to mitigate climate change impacts on sustainable food production as it relates to the fisheries sector. Specifically, the MOU will facilitate the finalization of a sovereign insurance coast product for the fisheries and aquaculture sectors in the Caribbean. It will also support the rollout of the coast product, including communication to improve awareness and understanding among stakeholders, and training for government officials and professionals in the fisheries and aquaculture sectors. Another major benefit is the promotion of climate-resilient fishing, fish farming and resource management practices among CRFM member states. Grenada is being used as a medium for the promotion of peace. The Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light HWPL has made a donation of its book to the Grenada National Museum entitled The True Story of Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light. The non-profit organization was represented by Mr. Daniel, who gave insights about the documentation of the book, which focuses on resolving conflict.
So what brings us here is we're an international peace organization. We work on education and international law. So on two different sides, we're trying to not only promote peace, but to educate people on the importance of peace and how we really have to tie our hands together to really work hard for peace. So this book that we're documenting here is just a book that really shows the culture of peace and how much peace has started to progress, not only here in Grenada and in the Caribbean, but globally as well.
The book is available and on display at the Grenada National Museum. Mr. Marlon Gittins of the Grenada National Museum expressed his gratitude to the HWPL for approving the book to be used in Grenada for the continuous promotion of peace.
On behalf of the Grenada National Museum, I'd like to thank you guys for coming and for allowing the book to be displayed in the National Museum.
The HWPL will return to Grenada soon. And that's the National Report for Thursday, April 11th. I am Sherian Noel.
The demand by teachers across the region for payment for correcting SBAs has been simmering under the surface for years now. In the latest development, some of the region's teachers are threatening not to correct the SBAs if there's no promise of payment by CXC. The August regional body faces its stiffest challenge in its 4 decades existence. The former Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of CXC, Dr. Didicus Jules, says CXC can ill afford to make this payment and, if forced so to do, will have to pass on the additional cost to the students.
No, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed because the issue of payment for marking exams in general arose when I was Registrar of CXC. And one of the first things I had done was to go to council asking for a significant increase in the subventions paid to CXC in order to pay markers much more, because there had been no increase for the preceding 25 years. So we felt that it was necessary to ensure that markers were given, more significant compensation for their marking.
During his tenure at the helm of CXC, Dr. Jules says he and the man who currently occupies his former seat tried desperately to address that concern.
The SBA from its inception was one of the most far-sighted things that the CXC could have done that distinguished it from Cambridge. Because as you know, just let's speak conceptually. First of all, the SBA is an opportunity to for students to apply the knowledge in whatever subject that they are doing to real life and to show the application of knowledge. That's one dimension. The second important dimension is that it is an opportunity for the teacher, the classroom teacher, who has interacted with the students throughout the year, to have a significant input into the grading, whatever is the final grade of their students, and therefore not just rely on a 2 or 3 hour exam, do or die.
The Caribbean Examination Council has held firm to the view that school-based assessment is part of the normal classroom duties for teachers, and they should therefore not be paid any additional amount for assessing the SBAs.
It's very unfortunate because I think in some ways, this is a debate that is focused on the money, and the SBAs it's not a monetary thing. Neither was it meant to be an imposition on teachers that would, unduly tie up their time and create extra effort. All of that was supposed to be fitted within the ambit of the work that they do in their classrooms, and to give value to that in awarding final grades to students.
The Caribbean Examination Council is one of the region's outstanding successes, with passes in CXC subjects accepted for registering for post-secondary courses in the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, India, the United States, and other places. CXC, because of its use of innovation and its credibility, is considered a model in many far-flung regions of the world. Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Force.
This Saturday, the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the 3rd Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stand, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at GoToFed.com, Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Taplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal! Run with it.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news. Be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
Cash has its convenience and will continue to play a very important role in our economy, and that for the foreseeable future. That said, the ECCB is committed to reduce our region's use of cash and checks. And you may ask why. Well, here's why. In the ECCU, about 80% of all payments are effected using cash or checks. When we survey our payments landscape, we cannot help but conclude that payments are still too slow and too expensive. Many of us know only too well the high costs associated with certain banking services. Although a full-scale analysis of the social costs of physical cash in the ECCU has not yet been carried out, it is indisputable that the costs of cash services, including transporting, storing, insuring, securing, are extremely high. Invariably, these high costs are passed on to the consumer. Many people do not recognize that, but that is what happens. And it is also obvious to us that many businesses do not recognize the true and full costs of cash services. This reality, however, means, and given the fact that the informal sector is so important in our region, means that the informal sector bears a disproportionate burden in respect of the costs of cash. The reality is that actors in the informal sector bear a significant burden of the cost inefficiencies of cash transactions. Lest we become too critical of small businesses, we should also acknowledge that they too face real constraints. For example, some of our businesses are required to pay as much as 3.5% on every credit card sale. That exorbitant charge reduces and in some instances removes the incentives for small businesses to offer their customers electronic options such as credit cards and debit cards. And if they do, it limits their ability to offer customers discounts because of the costs that they're paying to provide the card services.
This Saturday, the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the 3rd Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stand, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at gotofed.com, Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Chaplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal! 1 minute.
We on the move and ain't nobody can stop us now. We on the move and ain't nobody can stop us now. We on the move and ain't nobody.
You know NNP color is green. So anything you have green, I want you just wave them, wave them. Well, NNP is on the move most definitely. What's the big stadium number? Believe me, we're not to mention the roads built wrong the country and the drug thing dropped drastically. Hey, this election you have to vote wisely. This is the most important in our whole history. This one taking us to the brand new century. If you vote the wrong man, you mash up the country.
They are united. They are in bed together making love.
Good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pretty Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain. Good morning.
This is Hard Talk. That's a real old tune, a tune over 10 years old. Well, coming to think of it, it's close to 20 years old, if you think of it, man. A real old one. Yes, indeed. It's a beautiful Friday on the Isle of Spice, Grenada, the one and only. Yeah, not only the spice of the Caribbean, and with the spice of the world, spice of the universe, spice of the galaxy, spice of everything. Yeah. Yeah, Devon, how was your night?
Rough.
Rough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I not rough like a juking board that can be selling. Yeah, rough like a juking board.
Rougher than that, but
yes. Good morning to you, Olive. Good morning, Leslie. I know saw Leslie around. Vaughn. Good morning to you, Carla. Good morning to you. Hey, let's say a special good morning to the staff out there at Cooperative Bank. Yeah, whichever branch, good morning to you, staff out there at the Cooperative Bank Grenada Limited. All the branches, we hope that you all are having a fabulous day today. And also the other banking institutions. We have some listeners there at also at Republic Bank, those of you at Scotia Bank, those of you at all of the banks and financial institutions. We say a very special, glorious Grenadian good morning to you. Yeah, Ariza. Yeah, we know we have at Ariza. We saw somebody from Ariza just the other day. You know, yeah, we know Ariza people listening. Yeah, so good morning to all of you, and I hope that you all are having a fabulous day. Nice, beautiful. I wonder if I have another NNP song to touch there, boys. Somebody just had to touch it now.
This one dedicated to all Grenadians. Yeah, man, wave your hands.
NNP, we're marching on to victory.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to pull them out, yeah? Yeah, and hey, we do have the General Council of the NNP that's coming up, yeah? That's coming up next month.
shall have the victory.
Yeah, sometimes it does that drag them thing out. 34 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. Tomorrow, the Grenada Invitational is coming up. Yeah, the Grenada Invitational that will be taking place tomorrow at the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium. Folks, rush on out and get your tickets. Don't be saying, if only I had known. You know, you knew, and you better go. Yeah, head on out to the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium tomorrow. You're going to be having some of the biggest names in athletics on the planet. They'll be in action here in Grenada. Yeah, so when you're seeing the Olympic Games next year and you hear it talking about Andre DeGrasse, and you can say, I see in Grenada. Trinidadians can't say that to the Trinidadians. The 1 point something million of them or 2 million of them. They cannot say that they have seen Andre DeGrasse running. They can't even say they see Andre the Asphalt, much less Andre DeGrasse. They can't say they see him running down there. But we have him running here in Grenada tomorrow. The Canadian sprinter. We have the sub-10 king. Yeah. So he's on 98. Right now he's looking to make 99. Asafa Powell. He will be in action at the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium tomorrow as well. Already here on island. We have Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's here also.
She's here.
Braylon Taplin is also here.
Braylon is here. And they're all going to be in action tomorrow. Braylon has the world leading time in the 400 meter. If I can remember properly, he has the world leading time in the 400 meter for the year thus far. Looking to set a good time at home here in Grenada tomorrow as well. We also have there Justin Gatlin. Yeah, the world leader in the 100 meter, right? I think he's the world champion, everything in the 100 meter. Yeah, so it's going to be an exciting one tomorrow at the Carriacou James Stadium. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Yeah, this one I really going to be there. Let me see how that report looking. B, A, B, B, B. Yeah, all right. I'll deal with you, Mr. Man. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Yes, 4407377. It is Friday. The time for the weekend roundup. So.
And 347-329-3101.
Yeah, Devon. And so tomorrow, the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium is the place to be.
From 4 p.m.
Yeah.
in the afternoon.
And we know that
Pretty
some of
exciting.
the schools do have tickets.
Yeah.
And a lot of the schools have their final assembly today as well.
Yeah.
Parents, just remember final assembly. But take note, when it comes to the graduation, don't take no chance. Parents, step on up and step out. Step up and step out. Well, in fact, don't step out and step in.
Be a part.
Yeah. So
play a much more active role this time around.
Yeah. So 3 or 4 parents could decide that they're going to organize the DJ for the graduation ball. 3 or 4 parents could get together and decide that they're going to form a committee to deal with the decoration at the hall for the graduation ceremony and then the graduation ball. Yeah? And you can have others who will act as chaperones on the night and that sort of thing. You can have a committee of parents that come together and decide that they're going to deal with the food aspects of things. Because the students are paid, the parents are just pay anyway to give a little something towards the graduation.
So they may as well manage their own money and spend it and buy.
Yeah, to make sure it's done properly.
That's a good idea. We have parents basically playing that more active role. For example, in the ball, parents at the doors, parents in the bar, all these things. So you get them involved in the children activities from start of school right up to the end. Right up to the end.
So parents, we know a lot of the schools, a lot of secondary schools are having their final assembly today. And they do that now, for those of you that may not know, they do that now because school is closing today. In nearly all instances, it's closing today. It's the end of the school term. They're going for the 2 weeks out on the Easter break. 2 weeks?
Yep, 2 weeks.
2 weeks Easter break.
30th, I think.
And when they come back out, it's going to be the final term. In some instances, it's going to be a child's final term in school, right? A final term in school. It's going to be exams, right? In fact, I think some of the practical exams in certain CXC subjects may have actually
started.
already began. The early ones, especially in food and nutrition and so on, and one or two others. They usually begin, the first set of exams begin somewhere in April for one or two of the areas. And as we go into May and June, heavy examination time. Heavy examination time. I was speaking to one parent whose child is writing the CPEA exam this year. And she was saying at that particular school, they have no problems. No problems. The work to rule does not affect. She says, and the reason the work to rule does not affect is because the work to rule would affect the teacher's money. That's how she put it. She said that what happens at that school is that the parents pay for extra classes in the evening time. So it's not that the teacher is doing a voluntary something and just doing free classes in the evening time. They, the parents, pay on a monthly basis. They pay for additional classes in the evening for their children who are doing CPEA. The classes are held at the school. So that for teachers to say we work to rule and we're not going to do the classes after, the only person that would be spiting is themselves, because they are being paid to do it, separate from their normal salary. They are receiving that money from the parents to do that.
Wow.
So she said it's not fair. And that's in a
That's
government
interesting.
school, not a private school. That's a government school. And she says, as such, she said, outside of that, forget the pay, the teachers and that kind of thing, and forget the pay to do the extra classes and all of that. She says the principal of that school would not like to know that the CPA exam comes up and the school grading looking bad. That you have an X percentage that fail and all that. Remember, those are the children you have to see for another year again. In some instances, they have to come back for additional year. So they're saying, nah, he ain't going through that. Yeah, so he's making sure that he does what has to be done.
That's good. So at least you know that our children are still being cared for. All right, but I love the idea where the parents come together and ensure that their children get the extra classes on the evenings and so on. Even if they are the parents have to pay them. Hey,
but you see, it's and to be honest with you, for teachers, yeah, if they decide, because they believe it or not, there is actually an intent by the union to ask teachers not to participate in things like the graduation ball, because you know, the graduation ceremony, you might get away with that, because some of them might still say, well, it's not our job to organize that. Yeah? So you still, as parents, have to keep an eye on that and see what's going on in the particular school that your child is in. One school may not have the same problem that a next school has. But some of the teachers may very well say that when it comes to graduation ball, we have nothing to do with that. That's outside of school hours. It's sometimes outside of the school. Most times it's outside of the whole graduation ball in the school. Long time they used to hold it in the school hall.
Compound,
yeah, they don't even hold it there again. You hear they holding it down in Secret Harbor. And
very few schools have it on their compound.
Different party places around, they go and they have the graduation ball there. So it is a situation where you as parents will have to step in. Will definitely have to step in to ensure that these things are successful. Yeah? Whether it's security on the night, whether it's providing the drinks and so on, and chaperoning and all of these kind of things. It's not just buy an outfit and turn your back, or give them the money and turn your back.
Transportation.
Yeah.
You know, coordinating the transportation from different areas, because you have children coming from different areas, and the time the ball finishes anyway between 12 and 2. In the morning, and you want to ensure that the security of your children is being cared for in terms of they returning back home safely. So it's a whole list of things, and we don't want us as parents to be caught, as they say, with our pants down. We want to make sure we have the belt on, we tighten it and everything like that, and we're ready to move, we're ready to run with it, because our children's future is at stake. All right, so just in case that anything like the work to rule may affect the runnings of the graduation ceremony and the ball, we as parents must be able to step in, and fill the void. Our children is very, could you imagine your child is graduating, and when time for the ball there is no ball?
And you see, the
understand?
thing,
I mean, that is...
the thing with it, and we exposing the plan here, there is the intent to do that on the last minute. So, you know, ball's supposed to be the end of this month or the end of that month, at the beginning of the month or 2 weeks into the month, just say, well, we're not taking part in that.
Yeah.
Or you suddenly see a letter come out from the president of the teachers union. This is a reminder that you're not supposed to participate in such activities, because if it's barbecue, little barbecue and fear and all kind of thing that they refuse to have part to play with, where's ball?
Exactly.
Yeah, where's ball? So
and
parents.
And even better yet, once the ball is out of the school jurisdiction, the school compound, that's to give them even more reason. So hey, as parents, we need to step up. We need to pay attention with detail. As soon as the term, that final term starts, we must ensure, right, that we start questioning about the ball and where and everything like that.
And you as parents, don't wait until the last minute when the union comes and says, don't have it, take in front. Yeah, they say who don't have good foot, take in front.
Exactly.
Yeah, so take in front and make sure that you do what has to be done so that you can have your graduation ceremonies and you can also have your graduation ball. Now take the man phone now, man. Up to you. Yeah, the man calling you.
When he was ringing. But
yeah, Mr. Technical Man, the man phone ringing. Yeah, sort it out for him. Answer, you know. Tell them you're on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. We should have muted the mic and say, nah, there's hard talk. We just say it as it is. We ain't hiding nothing from all inside here, you know.
As it is.
Yeah, we just tell all you as it is.
So, very important, parents, guardians, let us keep our eyes on our students, our children that is graduating this time around. Let us ensure that they have a successful graduation ceremony and a successful ball. We are leaving no stone unturned, right? We are not taking no chances at the last minute. Last week, 2 weeks, you hear things turn upside down. The union decided to say, okay, we're not taking part, blah, what the case may be. We don't want to be caught.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't be caught with your now I can't say that on air. Anyhow, yeah. Let's say a special good morning to the Prime Minister.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. We do hope that you're having a fabulous morning this morning. We'd also like to say a special good morning to each and every other of the 14 parliamentary representatives and additional to them, each and every senator. We say a special good morning to you, including the two youth senators at NDC trying to throw it.
Yeah. And they're very serious about that, you know. They're doing all sorts of
all they say is that we ain't going fine to it, but they're trying to throw them to you.
Yeah. We've been saying that for weeks now.
Poor Karina and run. Yeah. Poor Karina. I know what I'm going to leave them alone.
Leave them alone. But you know what is a good thing? That decision is not theirs. We have no opposition leader.
You feel what they're trying to do is set up a situation to try and attack the Governor General. I think that's what they're trying to do, you know.
It's possible.
I think this is what I think is going to happen. I'm not saying it's what happened already or what happened. I don't know if they go by the GG already. I don't know, but I know they intend to. So I don't know. But what I believe is happening here is that there's an intent to attempt to embarrass Her Excellency the Governor General. So they want to write to her, and then according to how the thing plays out, they're going to attack her and say, oh, she do this and she do that and she shouldn't do this and she shouldn't do that. And then knowing that the vast majority of Grenadians do not read the Constitution, they go start to quote all kind of fake thing.
Yep.
And start to say, well, it's unconstitutional what she doing and she have to listen. Because here's what, I don't know what's the problem with Mr. Joseph Handel, but in one instance he's the interim leader and the next one he's saying he's the de facto leader.
What's the difference?
No, we're saying he's the interim leader of the NDC. That's what the NDC has him as. But he's saying he's the de facto opposition leader. In other words, he get a position because he's the person who is interim in charge of a party that got the second most amount of votes after the winning party. So he's saying he's the de facto opposition leader.
So having the second most amount of votes, does that give him...
Like he don't really like the whole opposition. So in one he had to be interim, in the next one he's de facto. Yeah.
But if he really wanted that title to be opposition leader, I mean, the referendum was there in 2016 for them to do just that. You know, and they were the ones beating and telling people no, not to vote and what. You understand? Because, I mean, we already knew that come the next election would have been another 15-0. So we were giving them the option, you understand, to say, look, I mean, we can't win a seat, right? You can't win a seat, but at least you are given the opportunity to be represented in Parliament, and they bluntly refuse that. How stupid are they? I mean, come on. Imagine that, but again, they don't believe us when we say it's another 15. You know, they feel it was
But
joke,
remember,
you know?
to get the first 15 took a lot of work.
It was more difficult.
I would know, huh? To get the second 15 took a lot of work too. And if you intend to get a third, it's going to take a lot of work. Yeah, it's not just get up and say that you're going to win. There's a lot of work that has to be done. So the activists, you can't go to sleep for 2-3 years and rest on your laurels and then decide you're going to get up for the last 2 years or the last year or the last 6 months. It na go so.
We had a rest for 1 year. It's time to pick it up.
Them was resting. I wasn't resting. I ain't rest.
Time to pick it up.
I ain't resting. I don't know about rest. Watch. I don't know about resting. I ain't resting.
And the Prime Minister could call election within 2 years?
Prime Minister could call the election within 2 days.
Okay.
You can call an election at any time. You don't have to wait until the full amount of time. Nothing in the Constitution is stopping you from just going to Her Excellency dissolving Parliament and calling an election at any point in time.
I just reiterating the choices you have.
If the Prime Minister so desires, the Prime Minister could easily walk to Her Excellency this evening, right now. He could just go, jump in the vehicle, go down there and dissolve.
Dissolve Parliament.
Ask that Parliament be dissolved. Nothing is stopping that from happening. So you always have to be ready. Yeah? You never know when the imperialist forces are going to hit Granans Beach. So you have to be...
Block all roads.
So you always have to be on standby. You always have to be on standby.
Visit all the polling divisions, house to house. Ensure that everyone is registered come 2020, the 1st of January.
But I'll continue to issue this warning, though. Continue to issue this warning. That there continues to be a congregation of the hateful, a coalition of the hateful, and a council of the hateful that are getting together to try and oust the new National Party. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
I'm calling from New York.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to speak with someone offline.
Well, you'll have to give us a call at 12. We can't take an off-air call during the program. So give us a call at 12, my dear. We'll gladly speak with you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, so give us a call then. Hey, before we go any further, just a message, just to let you know this here, Devon. Naz, I think something go wrong with the man computer now, you know. Hey, the plane leave? He just leave? Okay, nice.
Just shut down.
Okay.
Trying to reconfigure it now.
Let's try this.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Brother Sheldon and Devon, you see the word ungratefulness? Ungratefulness is just like witchcraft, Brother Sheldon and Devon. We can just hear some people, like, you're helping them all the time you're helping them. You're doing good for them. But one day, they come to you and they ask you for help and you can't help them. They had the worst thing to say about you. Never remember in the good that you did for them. And when I look at certain men that were with NMP, I could stand and say that they was there just to achieve and to receive things for themselves, not for the people of Grenada. Look, Forrester, and other people that was in NMP, they form of the party of a party of hatefulness. Right? I want Grenadian people to see that these people they don't have Grenadian at heart. They only have the self at heart and to benefit their own self. And we can see these people don't care and they love people. So if you really love a country, Right? You see that the party that's in government and make it, and they're not good for the people, they support the party. You know, everything that you want, you want to get it. But always remember what it did for you. Right? And when I look at these people, I look at it like the one thing that they cannot get, surpass the 99 they get. I want to get people to look into these people and see these people, they're only seeking their personal interest and not the interest of the Grenadian people. The interest alone is seeking. So let it go from the party, the party of hate, but we are the party, a party of love. The party are united, and we work hard to build our country and to find work for the Grenadian people, because they need work and they need housing. And that is what the NNP party is doing to help and to develop the people of Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique. Brother Devon, Brother Sheldon, you have a wonderful day. God bless you all.
All right, thank you. Yes, 4407377
and 347-329-3101.
Some people questioning what are asking about it. Now, listen, when I say coalition, now the coalition of the hateful are the different groupings that are trying to come together to get rid of the new national party. So when I say the coalition of the hateful, I refer to the individual, like for instance, you have one individual with a political party. Well, he has a registered political party, but as far as everybody knows, he's the only member of that political party. He is the leader, the deputy leader, the general secretary, the chairperson, the PRO, the labor relation officer, welfare relations officer. He is all the floor members. He's everything. One person. They say they have a political party. And then they say they're looking to take their small political party. Well, I don't know how smaller than that you could get if it's you alone. So they say they're going and take this small political party and bring it over and join with the NDC. That is where NDC reached to. They had to look for a man with a... So, Devon, tomorrow you could just say you're starting a political party and go and register it, you know. And in all intents and purposes, as far as the law is concerned, you have a political party. Yeah. Then you have others who are basically other fringe parties. Well, I think calling them a fringe party is actually giving them some form of elevation. Because saying that they get lotto numbers is kind of embarrassing to lotto. They get worse than that. So they are also coming over. But when you check the common theme among all of these individuals that are trying to come together and form a coalition against the new national party, there's one common thread that runs throughout all of them, that ties them together. Hatred towards Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the new national party.
Get Doc.
If it's not that they requested something, they did not receive what they requested for, because what they asked for the Prime Minister to do or the NNP to do, in many instances, would be illegal or wrong. And they ask for that, they find they ain't get it, they vex, they're gone. So there's this level of hate and animosity that they have towards the NNP. That's what binds them. If the thread that was binding them together was that, okay, we think Grenada is going the wrong direction, we want to see Grenada improve, we want to see Grenada go on the right line, we want to see if that was the common theme, or we see the economy of Grenada going down, we want the economy of Grenada to improve. They can't say the city economy of Grenada going down. Let's just get that clear. But if that was the common theme, we may have understood that. But when you check with each of them, is who lose their work, and since they lose their work, they vex with NNP. Is who asks for a diplomatic passport, and they ain't get diplomatic passport, so they vex with NNP. And it's just throughout the entire thing, it is always some sort of situation like that, that they go and ask the Prime Minister or ask some MP to do something that that person ought not to do, the person did not do it, and they vex. Or they lose some sort of substantive position due to something that they may have done and then want to vex with the world for it. So there's a coalition of these types of individuals that has formed and continues to form, and they attack the new national party and they attack Dr. Mitchell. Because you realize that every time they talk, it's Dr. Mitchell they're going after, eh? Every time they talk. Let's go to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Public, yeah. I just want to give my little input on Yeah, I just want to give my input. How long Dr. Q been involved in politics here? 84 to now, eh? He had been with the 84 election, he'd been there. And he had run for place, and he had won his seat. He was put Minister of Works, yeah? But then he became political leader of the party. He'd been in opposition in 90. He won 95 election, first time entering 87, he won and entering government as leader of Grenada. But I think all that to say, guys, don't you think it's been a long time? I know. Don't you think Dr. Mitchell has served this country for a long time, and there should be a successor? There should be someone in the waiting at this time? Don't you all think that?
But who told you that there is not?
I'm not seeing that.
You not seeing? Are you a member of the New National Party executive? Are you a card-carrying member of the New National Party?
But you could see what's happening.
No, you can't if you're not an executive member and you're not a card-carrying member attending General Council and Convention. You're on the outside, bro. You won't know what's taking place within the organization. When the organization is ready for you to know, you'll know.
My friend, I'm not seeing no success in the making there.
Well, I'm saying that you're not in a position to see.
And the way you all speaking, Sheldon, there, you're all speaking like Dr. Chit is here to stay. He's here forever. But there should be change. There should be new leadership.
But let me ask you something, huh?
New idea.
My brother.
Yeah.
In 1984, right?
Yes.
Dr. Mitchell was voted in it. And he's been voted in consecutively since then. He became the leader of the New National Party by being voted in by the delegates of the New National Party. He didn't walk in and just take it with a gun. Dr. Mitchell is Prime Minister of Grenada because he leads the political party that won the last 2 general elections. He didn't walk in and take it with a gun. The people of Grenada make that decision. Who are you to tell them that they make the wrong decision?
Hey,
you make your own decision.
Don't put words in my mouth.
No,
I never say who.
My brother,
Canadians.
you make your own decision and let the people make their decision.
I've never said that.
This is a democracy, and this is how a democracy operates. Everyone may not like it, but this is how a democracy operates.
I see that there is an empire building here.
You see, and what building, and how do you qualify? How do you qualify and quantify that statement?
Because you're gonna have a man running Grenada for all these years, and no one is challenging leadership, trying to be leader. We need change sometime. We cannot.
So you're in a household. Your father is head of the household. You're going to challenge your father and say you want to become father all of a sudden.
Your father won't do everything right all the time, you know.
No, get to what I'm asking you. You're going to challenge your father all of a sudden and say you want to be the father of the household.
But if your father messes up sometime, you have to, you know.
Also, you would challenge your father and tell your father you want to be father of the household?
I wouldn't challenge him
everything.
But if you do something wrong, I would tell him in a nice way, hey, Dad, you should be doing that.
My brother, the New National Party is a political organization. There are rules within the political organization. Every single year, unlike the NDC, every single year when we have a convention of the New National Party, the position of political leader is made vacant and the delegates vote on whether to nominate somebody else for the position or to continue with who we have. No, you hush and wait. You hush and wait. Don't try to cut me.
No, I don't.
You hush and wait.
I'm not calling, I'm listening.
Yeah. The delegates of the New National Party decide whether or not we want to continue the political leader we have. If you don't like that, join the New National Party, become a card-carrying, subscription-paid member, and come on the convention floor and talk. Yeah, that's the internal business of the New National Party. And you can't tell us that we do have succession planning in place. When you're ready, you go talk.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, what's up, brother?
All right, not too bad.
For a long time, I ain't touched base with all you. One of the things we have to be very, very careful about is the media too, you know. If you notice, apparently, like the media does go searching. Some of the media personnel and them does go searching for people like the one-man party and the former Attorney General. Those, I don't know, well, how they could turn wrong immediately and hate what they did like so much. You understand? They had to be deceivers. You understand? The media has those people like it's only them that could answer questions. You understand? Because they know, most of them know that they hate them, fellas hate the party so much and the Prime Minister so much that what they say, anything they say, it sounds sweet to the haters' ears. You understand? So that's why I believe they keep targeting them. So every time I put on my radio and my television, you could hear Mr. Hood or you could hear Mr. Forrester. Like, it's only them that have sense in Grenada. I remember one of them, they lied so much. One of the Tonys, they lied so much. They pay $40,000 for lies they make, they perpetrate on a man that outside the island, they put Hawk Island away. You understand? The man say put that money in some charity fund or some kind of thing too. We have a set of wicked Canadians. Wicked. Some of them they educated or so we believe that they educated. But at the end of the day, if you educate an ass, you would end up with an educated ass. Have a good day, my brother.
All you like trouble in that.
Play.
But let's just say this clearly. Dr. Mitchell has signaled his intent that the time will soon come when he will have to transition out of politics. You think Dr. Mitchell want sooner rather than later to be able to go and take a nice little cruise, relax?
Man want to go and relax in the pool and without nobody interrupting him. And,
he also a pool boy.
And all kind of thing.
He also a pool. He had to go down on the beach like everybody else.
Go in the river and bathe and
you want to go down in tongue and drink a coconut water and lime and all kind of thing. The time will come. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the issue of political leader of the new national party, that's an internal issue. When it comes to the issue of prime minister of the country, that's a national issue. The new national party will sort that issue out. And I don't know, this person is an executive member or a member as far as I know.
Unlike the other parties.
Yeah. Where once you're political leader, you cannot be challenged for how long. They have an interim leader interim leader a year and going now. So they take a whole year, they still cannot come to a conclusion and say, let us go this direction. Or let us go that direction. The new national party will be having a general council next month. And then after the general council, we'll be heading down to convention later in the year. So it's not an issue. And the thing is, I don't think the issue is that you look at the NNP and you cannot see anyone who can become the next Prime Minister of Grenada. I think the issue is that when you look at NNP, it has so much that you could choose from.
14 and others that are not, MPs within the organization that can fill the slot of political leader of NNP. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes. I was just calling to make my to give my observation. One of the callers, not the last one, the one before, the last one, call and say Dr. Mitchell as the leader for such a length of time. Yeah, but my thing is, my understanding is that, all right, if you've seen there for a length of time and you find it there long, well, talk about the whole situation, talk about how he's been there long and what he's doing. Talk about what he's doing there at the long time. The long time we're talking about, he is the Prime Minister. Talk about what he's doing. The reason why he could remain there long, because he performing. Check the country with the fastest economy growing in the region. Grenada has the fastest growth in the economy in the region. I think it's a 5% growth we have in the economy, which is great. These are the things we talk about. Don't watch Dr. Mitchell and say it for a long time. Is he good? If he's doing good, he's staying there forever. Good we want what we want is production. Anybody who come and become Prime Minister, he or she, and they performing good, We don't need nothing else. That's what we want. We don't want time or length. It's for production. So that's why if you think if Dr. Mitchell want to go now, he go see Dr. Mitchell for years still. So you better close your eye. Have a good day.
And the thing I'm trying to understand here is that Grenadians are the ones that made the decision.
A majority of Grenadians.
It's not a bunch of people coming from Turks and Caicos. It's not a bunch of people coming from Medellin in Colombia. It's not a set of people that coming from Accra in Ghana. It's Grenadians that made the decision. So what you want to tell Grenadians they stupid? You want to, when the time comes, as the time inevitably will come, the new National Party is more than capable of dealing with that particular issue. Because when you look within the new National Party, you have many persons, and me ain't going into names, that's all you want to try and get here today. Yeah, to try and foment confusion. Because you see, again, Devon, and you have to understand sometimes when certain people are playing along to a particular script because they want a discussion to go in a specific direction because it brings them to their ends, what they're seeking to do. We said yesterday, and it continues, that the NNP is the only party to beat the NNP at the next general election. Understand what I'm saying? The NNP is the only party to beat NNP. It's not that NNP would lose, it's that the only way NNP can lose is for NNP to decide losing. Because it's not that NDC will win. The NDC continues. Listen to that trend that talk. Go on social media and the activists of the NDC and the NDC itself, look and read at what they're saying. Listen to them when they go on various radio programs. Yeah? Look at them when they go on television programs and you realize that the message is consistent and the same. You know what they're waiting on? They're not trying to build their organization and come and try to take power by the ballot in Grenada. They're hoping that the NNP implodes. They sit down and they're praying every day. Let the NNP mash up, let the NNP mash up. They're hoping that these are the walls of Jericho, and if they march wrong it enough, it go collapse. And then they could walk in.
How much time they walk around the walls of Jericho?
A lot.
7 times?
So they're hoping that if they do that, they'll be able to make, well, 7 times they go out to get licks. So in a row. They're hoping that if they do that, that they can make
seat.
Yeah.
7-15-0.
That's
and we're on 3, yeah? So you have 4 more to go.
Yeah. So they're hoping, Devon, that if they go, well, we ain't going to say 3, we say 2, because we go get them in a row. So
yes.
They're hoping that if they continue to march around the walls of Jericho, that the walls of Jericho will collapse. So you see these idiots, political neophytes, that's the correct word? Yeah. But politically, they have no sense. You have these individuals speaking about a situation in Sudan and trying to say that the situation in Sudan will happen here in Grenada. Number one, you have a situation where the military in Sudan take over. There have been human rights abuses. The president of Sudan is wanted by the International Criminal Court for genocide.
Yeah, there are countries he can't travel to.
He could barely travel anywhere outside of your own country, and now they have him under house arrest. He can't even leave your own country. So it's even worse. Other members of his organization are also wanted by the International Criminal Court. That is the kind of government that we're talking about, and they're trying to say that that is the same type of government we have in Grenada here, so that what happened over there. People who had the Janjaweedin, yeah, that's the proper way to pronounce it, yeah, Janjaweedin, militia that used to go out in villages and kill people. And that person has been removed from power by the military. And you're trying to say that happened there, don't worry, one day Grenada too. That is what you offer Grenada? And you call yourself a conscientious and patriotic Grenadian? Then you have the others that saying, oh, NNP falling apart, ting. Focus on your own resignations. Focus on the fact that the credit union man's supposed to come in and the former ambassador supposed to come in and all these people supposed to come in the organization, and that you have various camps. You have one camp of individuals that want to bring them in because they realize that these people have financial resources and could help your organization. No, you want to talk that, ain't it? You don't want that discussion at all. Yeah? Only want that discussion. But yes, you all know very well that these people could bring financial resources into your organization. So One group want to bring them in. The next group say no, because you spend so much time attacking some of these individuals that all you don't want them inside there at all. All you're fighting against it. And then the youths within the organization,
they get caught up in the middle.
They're watching all you, and they're saying, while two of them bloodying themselves, we could just come in and take the whole thing. Right. So meanwhile, you had Tevin and Django, Ron and Kiri, all of them joining up together and deciding. So now all you realize what the youth and them doing. Yeah. So you all trying now to kick out Kiri and Ron and go and put Joseph Andal and Claudette Joseph in the Senate to represent the NDC. Because Claudette believes now that she could go in Parliament and say what she wants and have parliamentary privilege and coverage. Certain things that she can't go by Brenda and say on a Tuesday. She can't go by Godfrey and say during the week.
On a Thursday.
They can't go on the NDC program on a Sunday and say it. Certain things, no, I tell you when the programs, because I want you to listen to the stupidness that us be saying. Certain things that she can't say out there.
She might get a chance to say it on Kim, because they ain't no different.
No, but she's still afraid. Certain things that they're afraid to say in those places, they feel now if they go in Parliament,
they could say it.
They could say it in Parliament, and that some sort of, all you better read the rules of Parliament. That's what I would say. But read the rules. I know the rules of Parliament inside out. That's why I never had to be cautioned.
You even going that far? These people never see Parliament, so you don't even say talk about them.
Does it on a picture?
Well, yes, they and they have to read about it to teach other people about it, and so and so because they will never see Parliament. You understand? As a representative of the people, they will not. Yeah, they will visit it. It's a beautiful Parliament building, state of the art. It's open to visitors every day of the week, so they can visit and go and sit down.
Some people go vexed with me by calling and
Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I just want to make a correction. What Sheldon say?
Correct.
John Joey.
John Joey.
Yeah, it means that devils on horseback.
Yeah, and imagine that's the kind of thing that's taking place.
It's Arabic
so, my brother. Since you could correct me on the spelling, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
this is what Bashir was doing in Sudan.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say that's the kind of thing happening in Grenada. So pretty soon we go at that. That's man. Okay, my brother.
I keep it tight.
One love.
You see why I love Hard Talk listeners? Because we always have somebody to correct us.
Yeah, Janjaweed militia.
Yeah. And the man even give us the meaning.
Yeah. Terrorizing the population, a certain section of the population.
Two things before we jump back on that. One, I had a call a little earlier this morning from someone wanted to find out when the seed payments, that's the pension. Mm-hmm. The seed payments are going to start. They're going to start on, let me see, they'll start on Wednesday of next week, because remember Friday is a holiday. So Wednesday of next week, those of you that just had to go and collect your local seed payment, go and collect your seed payment next week, Wednesday, not Thursday, Wednesday, right? Wednesday, and payment will go up until 3. I think that means 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and not the 3rd, but 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, my good friend, I know you called earlier, and I know that you're listening. The seed payments will start next week, Wednesday. Also, before I go any further, let me congratulate Mr. Josh Boateng, who has just broken the Grenada national record for discus throw again, the 3rd time in 3 weeks. He broke it again. This time he's into the 60 range, so he's at 60 point something. 60.77. Yeah. I think 60.77 he's at right now. So he should be, the records will change just now. He should be in the top 30 in the world right now in the discus throw. He should be in the top 30.
25th.
Yeah. Should be in the top 30 in the world. I know Anderson Peters is ranked number 10 in the javelin right now in the world. Owen Anderson Peters, he's ranked the 10th in the world. He's ranked in front of Kishon Walcott of Trinidad, who is somewhere at number 13, 14 right now. Kishon Walcott won the gold medal at the Olympic Games and a silver medal. Business people, let me tell you something. I'm saying it and I'm saying it again because I'll be two of them agents. Them marking becoming all of them agents. I'm telling all you now. Help these young people now. They have different needs. Government reach a certain way, Olympic Association reach a different way. You as business people get involved now. Don't come and tell me afterwards that you want them to advertise it. And when you see them wearing the nice Olympic gold medal and World Championship gold medal around the neck, you come in and say you want them to advertise your business. I turn in all you down. I go only deal with who helping them now. Help these young people. You want to find out how to help them? Contact me and I will show all you exactly how to assist them in a fair, open and transparent manner. Yeah? We ain't dealing with nothing. I ain't collecting nothing for nobody and hold it day. Yeah? We dealing with the athletes and we deal with the athletes directly and help them. Yeah? And they're not professionals, so they can't receive payment as such. But you can help them different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Assist them. Help them. All right? Help our athletes, man. They have needs.
They have reached that far. I mean, the little we have, we can give to get them there.
Sometimes when you see them on the world stage and you see the cameras hit them and all kind of thing, if those cameras had to come home, that's all I had to say. Let me leave that there because I was thinking, if cameras had to come home,
and the potential for all our athletes right now is so, I mean, it's great.
Government has helped. Government has helped. But government could only reach so far.
Yeah,
Olympic Association helped, but it could only reach so far because remember, it's not 1 or 2 you have to deal with all the athletes, you have to deal with everybody.
Sporting,
so come on, business community, I do find all this stepping up, or you should step up, man. Watch right now, you know what I need? I need somebody to sponsor some electrical stuff, some electrical fittings and so on, and I need about 2 or 3 electricians, qualified electricians to do our work for one of the athletes. I ain't gonna say which one, but one of the athletes. So whoever could deal with that, or you call me later, 406-5422, 406-5422, call me later so we could help out the athletes. So they realize Devon doesn't come here and ask for nothing for himself. I don't come here and ask for nothing for myself. We are not certain people.
Yep.
We ain't coming here and ask for things for ourselves. Yeah? We just ask to help people who we know gonna make us proud. Come on.
And our athletes are on the top of the list. I mean, they have been doing it basically, I mean, with a little support they have been getting, and look at how far they have reached. I mean, they're unstoppable, you know. The Josh Boateng and the Kirani James and the Braden Taplin and Anderson and everyone. I mean, they are on the verge of breaking out, right? I mean, worldwide, and nobody's to stop them, you know. So I mean, we got to show what we can and do what we can for our athletes, our own.
Someone is asking me about the coalition and the hateful, and what's the difference between the coalition, the congregation, and the council? So the coalition is the grouping of parties, the Terry and others, who are coming together, and you're going to hear more and more start coming out from, I would have said it would work, but they're coming out from the swamp. More and more of them coming together to join up with the NDC, right? Just now you go hear probably Justin Crow McBurney. Yeah, you hear he come and he join too. Yeah, you might hear you might hear, oh God, Washi boy. Yeah, GRP boy. Is Washi the Grenada Republican Party? Nas, I think is up in your country. See that they put the cow on the van the time and drive it around election saying vote the cow? One big cow, put it on a van and drive it right around. Vote GRP.
Oh my God.
Poor cow.
That's cruelty to the animals, man. Come on.
My girl, no, I'm not doing no pledge program. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Or you want to help the athletes, I am willing to be the channel through which you can assist.
Yes.
No, nothing ain't coming to me. I ain't holding nothing for nobody, and nobody ain't coming and hand me nothing and say, give this person. I am directing you exactly how to get to them and how to assist them. I know one who is definitely going to be representing Grenada at 2 major international meets this year. They want to do some additional training, so they want to go to a specific camp. They need help. And again, don't blame the Olympic Association and the government. They do their part. But sometimes they just need that little extra to push them, and they need it. So I will direct you all. 406-5422. Call me or message me later and we go organize. All right? Nice. Devon. But again, the coalition is that grouping of the parties. The congregation is the people out there, their supporters, the ones that has called the radio program and say, you see what happened in Sudan? It go happen in Grenada.
Wishful thinking.
NNP falling apart. They getting resignation. How much resignation since election?
Oh, 3 or 4.
They getting resignation after resignation. Right? In fact, the party itself might resign just now. But they getting resignation after resignation.
The party will leave them and go.
In fact, that heart look like you need defibrillation. You need a defibrillation machine. You know, you had to clear. You had to shock it.
My God.
So they're talking about NNP this and NNP that. NNP ain't falling apart. NNP ain't falling apart. Their party falling apart. But as they always say, if you want to make somebody take, you know, they want to take, how to put it? They want to take people watching at them. They want to take people attention off from them. They accuse the other person of doing exactly what happening with them. So that is what happening to their organization. They're wondering how we know certain things. We know certain things. We know that the problem is that what you all expected the 2 young senators to say in the Senate was not being done.
They're not towing that line.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know that the reason that is so is because these 2 young people see themselves as having a future in politics, unlike you all. So they ain't go in and bloody themselves. They ain't go in and mess up themselves. Because at the end of the day, then their political career is over.
At a young age, they can afford for that.
All you're going close to all your 60 and all over 60 already.
Yeah,
you Claudette, just about your 60 and all kind of thing.
Or they have leadership already. Stay there. Let the young people, express and build themselves in the parliament. But then again,
a friend of mine asking when I'm doing pledge to pay my light bill, my water bill, and my rent as the program must go on.
I think.
I ain't doing no pledge for that.
Nah.
I go fight up and pay it.
Yeah, you can fight up and pay it, and so we don't
if
need
I
no
owe,
pledge for
I go
that.
pay. I go find a way and pay. If I owe, I go pay.
We could go in and tell.
Hello.
So. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sheldon. Good morning, Mr. Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Good man is here.
Hey, Papa.
What go now?
Good man.
Well, are they? Well, let me tell you now. I was talking to some guys. They said 2008 is the worst, and them is NDC. They said 2008 that the worst 5 years they ever spent, you know. They had a family to see about. They had the children, everybody. They catch them, no. But let's say not them again, you know. They say NMP on the way, man. But they laugh. And they was bad by NDC, you know. When they see me, they used to call me, take on that you buy, take on that you buy. We know they put it on now, you know. But yeah, man. So,
no,
we had to do the right thing. So long we do the right thing with the bother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyhow.
All right, Papa.
Have a nice weekend, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, later. Right.
I will never tell an NDC person take out the T-shirt, take out the banner, or do support the party. That is their constitutional right. If they see something there that they like, go right ahead.
Feel free.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the new National Party. Why you don't see an influx of people leaving the NNP and going over to the NDC? Why you see an influx of people leaving the NDC and coming over to the NNP? Because, yes, you were a member of the NDC, so what? You saw something in the NDC at that point in time that you liked, that vibe with you, and you were there. So what? Yeah. We supposed to hate you for that?
You are Grenadian, you know. You have rights.
Your constitutional right. Mm-hmm. And if our political leader says to us, because our political leader is a person who's been attacked by individuals the most. And if our political leader comes and he say, forgive and forget, let us all come together, then who is the rest of us?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the rest of us? We have to, I mean, he is leading from in front. You see, that's the difference between a party, a political organization with leadership and one that is leaderless. Leadership. So he's able to hold his team together. He's able to say, this is how I would like to see things. What do you think about it? You notice what I said? This is how I would like to see things. But what do you think? Not this is how I'd like to see things and that's how it's going to be. You know, Dr. Mitchell do operate so. Dr. Mitchell puts out his idea. This is what I think. What do you think? And you know, sometimes at the end of the discussion, you might be able to change his view.
Yeah. Discussion is that's what
sometimes he change your view. Sometimes you change his view. I've seen it on many occasions. this kind of thing about Grenada have a dictator. Grenada have a dictator where the only dictator is Doc Brother that does sing Calypso. That's the only dictator in Grenada.
Morning dictator.
Morning dictator. We know you listening. Yeah. That's the only dictator in Grenada. He does sing Calypso. Where's the song he sing again? The patriotic song he sing there. If you find it, Bright Out of Darkness, In the Caribbean, there's an island. Yeah, right. That is dictator. I have to stop there. I don't know the rest of the song.
This song's so old, eh? I tell you, I can't say it word for word, so I ain't trying.
But you see, that is the thing. So the coalition is the grouping of parties. The congregation are the little ones that call the radio programs and the yap, because either they ask for a piece of land, they didn't get a piece of land. They ask for this, they vex. They just hate NNPs. Not that they don't like NNP or they see something necessarily going wrong in the country. It's that they have some sort of hatred or they have some kind of hang-up, some kind of thing.
And them and that grouping, that grouping have a political leader, eh?
Yeah.
Kim Jones.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the head of the congregation.
Yeah, that's the head of the congregation. That's the leader of the that political section.
Then you have the council of the hateful. And the council of the hateful is that grouping that does meet. Anyway, the council of the hateful is the grouping that meets and has discussions on a regular basis about how to destabilize the administration, how to reverse the gains that have been made in the economy and other areas of Grenadians' existence right now. So they don't like the fact that Grenada keeps getting positive reviews for the economy.
They don't like that.
How do you affect that? How do you damage that? This is what the Council of the Hateful have decided. Take over the trade union movement. Even if you maintain the same face that they are puppet. But take over the trade union movement. So when young people like Brian Grimes try to enter the movement and come with an open mind,
they cut him down.
They cut him and anybody else like him down.
Imagine that kind of tax this young man gets. Who just
this guy has never even been around an NNP meeting, anything. But anyhow,
they don't know.
Poor them, I ain't think they know what they do there. But you attack the young man, you accuse him of being in politics when you are the ones that were in politics. So many of the leaders that you see there, they're doing things. They're doing it as puppets. So tier one, to damage the economy, you have to damage the operations of government. So whether it's to shut down operations on the port so that the amount of money that comes in on the port doesn't come in, or operations through the government service or wherever they can shut down services through strike action and other actions, go slow and so on, it will negatively affect the economy. So if Grenada could have made $6 million within a period of time, we might make 1.5. That's the intention. I'm telling you, I ain't asking you, I'm telling you that's the intention of the Council of the Hateful. There are other things that they plan to do.
And workers, be very careful, eh? May Day coming up, be careful of those that are within your ranks. Those who will try to infiltrate on Labor Day and even after Labor Day to have their statement. You see, because all of that is what they're trying. And so you have to be very, very careful, right? Come Labor Day, yes, it's worker solidarity, right? You workers do what you have to do, but be careful with those among you who come to infiltrate you, who come to create chaos, who come to ensure that disruption and so is brought to that day, right? It is your day when you exercise your right, and so, but not for somebody to dictate to you as to what to do when it comes to political, right? Stay labor. That is my advice to you. Do not get involved, right, in that direction that they are trying to steer you to. We have to be very mindful of that. That day is your day. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Come out, air your views and show. Say what you need to say to clear your heart, your belly. As you say, vomit it out. But do it in a respectful, right, honest way. And don't let people mislead you on that day. Right? So be very, very careful.
Yeah, Devon, I have to take a short break. Let me just put on two things here, and we take a short break.
That you've worked all year and finally able to escape to Grenada for the perfect holiday. You are now relaxing on Grand Anse Beach with the wind in your hair and sand on your feet, hearing the sound of the waves crashing on the shore and birds chirp.
Miss, you want any coconut water?
No, no thank you.
Oh gosh, miss, buy something now. What about these pretty necklaces?
No thank you, sir.
You sure you don't want no coconut water? It's good for your daughter, you know. Miss, you have any children?
This is harassment. One bad experience could translate into the loss of new and repeat visitors. Tourism benefits everyone. Tourism is everybody's business.
This Saturday, the Carriacou James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the 3rd Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stand, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at gotofed.com, Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Taplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal!
The house solid and the pillars strong. Don't stop the progress. We moving on. The house solid and the pillars strong. Don't stop the progress. Take a good look around. The house solid and the pillars strong. Don't stop the progress. We moving on. The house solid and the pillars strong. Don't stop the progress. Take a good look around.
Yes, indeed. And let's go to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, sir.
Gentlemen, I just wish to make a comment on this morning I heard on another program, a gentleman was making a call. He said, well, we all know, Mr. Forrester made a call regarding a truce. And I thought his emphasis was on one side of the issue rather than what I would think a truce. To me, I understand it as a cessation of fighting, a cessation to a conflict. Therefore, you bring the two sides together, and whatever either of them was doing is stopped. You understand me? But he stated that is directed particularly, and I'm sure, I hope I'm not falsely representing the gentleman. I heard him call the Prime Minister, his Minister of Education, and extended to the Cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall hearing him made reference to the Teachers Association in that call. Yeah? And I'm stating, if you, and because he based it on the Easter situation of reconciling, etc., etc. But to me, if you cannot call on one side of a conflict to do everything, and then to the other side you say nothing to them. If a truce indeed is a cessation of conflict, a cessation of fighting, therefore, I think it's only fitting that you equally sound out to the teachers' union that they ceased all actions they have taken to date and still continue taking.
But my brother, before you go further, you want to know where the nonsensical part of that argument is? You're asking for a truce during the period that the teachers not out teaching.
But
so in other words, it's only government alone that go be under a truce. The teachers and them ain't go be under no truce because they can't take action during a time when they have no action to take. They're on vacation.
Of course, but you and the gentleman didn't even refer to the fact that the fact that the teachers' question has been taken to the court is reason enough for there to have been a cessation of action on their part regarding the very issue. If you understand me, you understand? Mm-hmm. He highlights nothing of that, but focus only on the fact that government should do this and should do that. You understand? I thought it, I mean, if we really want to be impartial, if we want to be seen to be unbiased and genuine, let us be real. Let us be real. Let us be real, yeah?
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Doc, have a wonderful day. Yeah, it's... I mean, it's amazing. But you know what? I'm glad that you have persons still have the energy to get involved in political organizations and wanting to merge, and so we wish them all the best, right? Because
you know something, Devon? I think we're wrong, and we're wrong in referring to one man as a political organization. Is a one man show. let me go to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, well, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, AC.
They say, when you don't have good toes, you have to take it first.
I think you meant to say good foot and not good toes.
Well, the toes is part of the foot, right?
Yeah, the toes is part of the foot.
Grenville man say toes, not foot.
When you want to get into politics, and the people have told you before that they don't want you around, you should take that to mean that they don't ever want you around. But if you head hard and you want to go again, you shall understand that politics would show you who your friends really are.
Yep.
And in our country, it has been a problem for a long time. Nobody wants to talk about it. That there are certain men and women who hold on to a particular quote-unquote status quo. And they feel threatened every time a young person comes up in the ranks. It seems that we will forever be holding on to grandmas and grandpas in certain positions and never giving our young people the opportunity to shine. The young people, we must remember, are those who actually have visions. The young people are the ones who see things that people at my age could never see how they see it and how they make it work. And in this era, when Grenada has stepped on the gas to development, we need every able-bodied young man and woman making a contribution. As a party, the NNP is supposed to ensure that their efforts to make a contribution to the development of Grenada is not frustrated by the likes of those who want to hang on to a status quo that is almost non-existent in Grenada these days. It comes a point where men and women are threatened because they would lose certain things, and certain things include the Mr. This and the Miss That, and the seat up front, and the seat in VIP, and the one who knows, and the one who the radio calls for an input into a story. We have to be sure, we have to ensure that our young people are safeguarded against those elements in our society. Because they are there, and anytime a young person does something that steps on the corn, they're quick to talk about, I was here long before and I know better than you. It is still happening in the political sphere of our country. Vis-a-vis those who are running around like headless chickens now trying to put together the semblance of a political party. And I say put together the semblance of a political party because the NDC is no more. Whether we want to agree or accept it, the NDC is no more. And so they're running around like headless chickens trying to put together a semblance of a political party. And they will do everything to frustrate the efforts of the young people who want to make a meaningful contribution to development of Grenada. Again, I always go back to say, we do not need political parties to be in government because the Constitution, which is the Bible of the country, does not recognize political parties.
Exactly.
And they seem to want you to believe that if you're not in their party, you're stupid. Now, I never met a stupid NDC. I've never met a member of the NDC or a follower of the NDC who is stupid. It's a Grenadian who exercises his democratic right of freedom of association, which is open to every Grenadian citizen. However, we have a few people who maybe don't understand what the Constitution means, seem to tell you that if you don't support NDC, you don't support, you're stupid. Now, NDC supporters aren't stupid, they're Grenadians. And so too are us NNP supporters. Now, we bold to say we NNP supporters. We doesn't support for a season.
Mm-hmm.
We just do it every day, all day. And we ain't shamed to in our game. But I'm saying this because, you know, parents and people over 50, yeah, saying it that way, have to come to the realization that we have to guard and protect our young people. We cannot give them a reason to turn to delinquency. We cannot give them a reason to turn away from politics, which is critical for our continued development. Right now, all these failures that entered into politics to try to regain some of their stash and didn't succeed, continues to paint politics as a dirty thing. But we need politics, and we need young, vibrant politicians who understand the concepts of development and the concept of for our country to continue to go forward. And people over 50 need to make sure we embrace and we safeguard these young people. Because if that doesn't happen, we're going to have a set of gray-haired man and woman with walking stick bent over who can't remember what they had for breakfast at o'clock trying to lead Grenada. And we don't want that to happen.
Yes, indeed.
Right? And there are some people who maybe like the word politics, but politics doesn't like them. They should know the difference and step aside and stop frustrating the efforts.
But if somebody's standing up on their toes, they can't back out?
Huh?
If somebody's standing up on their toes, they can't back out?
Yeah, but what about somebody standing up on your toes?
Especially
what about if your toes? What if your toes have corn?
But watch,
in a bad way.
If you have corn planted.
Next thing, you ever go to a party and you're dancing with a woman and she's standing up on your toes?
Now I'm telling you, it's a bad thing. You know. You feeling it all next week. You know, next time you go to party, you put in our boots. But then again, there's the other issue of the doctor, and the doctor has the intentions of cleaning house. the doctor believes that if he gets that opportunity, he would be able to clean house and bring in his people. So that's why I say like headless chickens. They're running around trying to form a new party again. It's a new NDC that is coming on. And although they have not decided on the leader yet, but all the leaders that have been vying have decided to make their own plans on how they're going to make this new NDC. Because they all think that they have what it takes to challenge the NNP and Dr. Keith Mitchell.
Are there any real NDCs remaining?
Huh?
Are there any real NDCs remaining?
Yet, some of the supporters, and I say that to say, there are supporters of the NDC who has been there from day one and understand what the NDC was about. They are, let's say that they feel bad, they don't want to leave now because they're there so long and they make so much talk and make so much confusion. But in real sense, they still believe in the concept of the National Democratic Congress as it was supposed to be when it was started. You see, and that is what we have to remember, that what we have now is not NDC as created, like I said yesterday, by people like Finley St. Louis and Penny Lal Singh and Francis Alexis, these guys, and Tillman Thomas. Right? So there are real NDCs, but I think they're waiting for the real NDC to stand up.
They don't have sitting down. They lying down. They ain't sitting down because they don't want no seat. So they lying down.
No. The real NDCs have said that they are not part of this wishy-washy thing. You know, the real NDC understand that the National Democratic Congress was not formed to challenge Keith Mitchell and to have committees of hate against Keith Mitchell. The real NDC understand that the NDC was created as an alternative to the NNP at the time it was formed. Mm-hmm. And if you look back at the policies and the things that were put in place, the structures that were put in place by the NDC at that time was to create that kind of vibrant alternative. But you know what? They're not paying me for direction. Let me stop there. Let me see. So, so the doc is planning on cleaning house.
And we're not speaking about Dr. Mitchell here. We're just making it clear, not Dr. Mitchell we're talking about.
No, we're talking about the doc that is going to take over the NDC if he's given the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Right? He has also said that there are a few who are there now, then meeting his standards of what he wants. Mm-hmm. Because when you head big like his, when you have your doctorate since you're 19, you're seeing things in a different kind of kaleidoscope of colors. Yeah. And so he wants to do a whole rearrangement, then there are those against it.
Let me ask you, you could see a man like Glenn surviving with him in charge?
No, but then again, survival is a strange thing.
Yeah, it is.
And politics has made some very strange bedfellows.
What about an unintellectual like a Patrick Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, that breed.
Based on his level of stupidity, I could see him.
That one hurts.
Sorry, I have to say that because I've never met one individual as stupid as Patrick Simmons when it comes to politics and not learning and thinking that he's still in the schoolyard. My bat, my ball. I bat first, I bowl first. Otherwise, I'm going home with it. That's his attitude. So yes, he's the kind that will want to be. He's not the kind that will actually get recognized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see?
To be honest with you, I didn't look at that aspect of it, but you've opened up another aspect of it here. With that new blood coming in, there will be a serious triple bypass at our heart, man, because believe me, some ventricles and some arteries and so on will be severed.
Yes.
Some things will be
Of
missing.
course.
Yeah, there'll be a
Of course.
serious
Now,
cleaning.
a lot of people don't know it, that when NDC was getting ready for the 2008 election, Romain didn't even know that. The plan was not to put people like Simmons and them in office. The plan was to employ a heaping set of quote-unquote technocrats, like the woman that was cussing Dr. Mitchell and pretending she was, what's her name again? Bernadine.
And Chris DeRiggs and them fellas.
Right, they wanted to put these guys as ministers. And then they kick up against it. People like Simmons and them were told to go in your constituency and work. So it is no secret that the plan of the NDC was always not to use, you see, the face thing, the facade. You have candidates who would not become ministers, but they would use these candidates as glorified public relation officers in each constituency to push. Read Animal Farm. Some pigs are equal, but some pigs are more equal than others. That is what was happening. That is why the leader that resigned, he knew he wasn't going to continue as a politician to get votes because he knew he could not sustain it. But he wanted to be in a position to be used as one of these technocrats as a Minister for Finance. And that is what was going to happen. But then the rest of them kick up against it. And, people like Let and the guy from Gov, them guys say, no, hell no. We run, we win, we want to be in office as ministers.
Because you know something, say what you want about Michael Church. He's the first man to stand up against all the stupidness, huh? And the first man just to say straight up, me and stick in that. He has been consistent from early up. Church stand up like a man with belly.
Because he had a level of principle.
Mm-hmm.
And he understands that this is not the politics we practice in Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you have to understand that in the context of our country, our politics was good become on election. After election, we get down to the work of the country. This was never about mine, and give me, and we in charge. My time now, time to eat our food. That kind of nonsense. Right? I know Romain before I know he was NDC. And we used to hang out together. When I realized he was NDC, we didn't stop hanging out together.
At all.
Labby is labby and that's all you want.
That is the politics we are accustomed to in Grenada.
Yeah.
When me and Romain meet, we give each other pecan, we hit each other blows, we take a drink and call the judge.
Yes.
And nothing personal.
Nothing personal.
That's right. So when they started the nonsense, hatred for people who didn't support them, Michael Church in his decency understood that is not the kind of politics we know in Grenada. And we must always ensure that the kind of politics we know in Grenada continues. And when I say that to say, our country is too nice, too beautiful, too different to let this nasty kind of politics come in play. I hate you because you use NDC and use NMP. I tell you, I hate nobody who supports another party.
Mm-hmm.
You had one evening I give a woman a ride. She said, hey, you give me a ride? I said, why not? Didn't you go in Granville? She said, yeah, but me is NDC. I said, so?
Who cares?
That's it.
Who
right?
cares?
And I tell people, you go to the hospital and you're sick. You ain't asking the doctor what party you're supporting. And that is how we have to look at it. And that is how they were not looking at it.
Yeah.
And so they pushed this great division in the country. And that is why I say NNP had to win the next 3 general elections, all 15 seats again. Let people understand that, hey, watch now. You don't need somebody backing a nonsense across the aisle for the country to go forward. Right? We need people who would push Grenada.
Yeah.
Right? And the project must always be Grenada. Right? We must always push Grenada, because when you stop that, then we as a country are in trouble. When you stop that, the vision that young people have now, the support, the enthusiasm young people have in different areas of our country. Look at what happened in Trinidad recently with the soccer. Look, we don't only have Kirani James, we have Braylon Toplin or whatever running, bringing glory to Grenada. That is the kind of enthusiasm. There are other young people, various areas, whether it's chef, whether it's in history, whether it's in debating, whether it is in cricket, football, what have you. That is because there is a level of enthusiasm amongst the young people. We cannot allow anybody to spoil that now, break that enthusiasm in our young people. We are going to kill the country. Anyway, gentlemen, have a good day. I'm going to sleep. I don't go back to work. Just
go on, go on.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
Thank you, my brother.
Later.
Yeah, that's our good buddy, AC Major. Yeah, and what, you don't take it from here alone, and what things leaders say, by let me have things lead.
Have to give advice to the leadership of the party. What would it be in order to get the party back in, let's say, a competing mode to put itself up for election against the ruling?
I don't think I want to give any advice to people who can't take advice. Honestly, I don't see myself wasting my time.
Yeah, that's the voice of Finsley St. Louis.
A founding original member of NDC, who decide just, you know what, forget that. I don't want to give advice to people who don't want.
Devon boy, like we had to run out of here. Folks, that's all the time we have for today. I had to run.
And the weekend.
Yeah. Folks, remember tomorrow, the Grenada Invitational, all roads lead to the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Come on out in your numbers. Yeah, it's going to be world-class athletes at a world-class facility. Make sure all you come down, yeah, come down and see the thing. All right, nice. So that's going to be taking place at the Karani James Athletic Stadium tomorrow. Head on down there and be part of this one. All right, nice. We're looking forward to seeing you there. All right, Devon, what else is up on the weekend? Is there anything else on the weekend, boy?
Oh, the police exams, the police recruiting exams tomorrow. They have different locations. SAS, 9 o'clock. St. Rose, Modern Secondary, 9 o'clock. At Carriacou, the Magistrate Court, 9 o'clock. And the Grenada Boys Secondary School, 9 o'clock.
Hey, we forget the main activity tomorrow, you know. There's a major activity taking place tomorrow. And I don't know how we could forget that activity that's taking place tomorrow. Folks, and whatever you say and do it safe and secure when we're speaking to and with you and not
about you. Fluffy, we coming.
Yeah, you understand? Yeah, man, you have to run with it tomorrow.
This Saturday, the Karani James Athletic Stadium becomes the center of the track and field universe with local stars, superstars, and rising stars as they compete in the 3rd Grenada Invitational. Tickets are only $30, secondary stand, $40 bleachers, $60 main stand, $100, $125, and $150 finish line, and $350 VIP. Tickets at GoToFed.com, Maxis, Venus, Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Gatlin, Powell, DeGrasse, Fraser Price, Chaplin, and more in exciting international track and field action.
This is what we've waited for.
World-class athletes.
The fastest men in the world.
World-class performances.
Watch the clock, it's goal! Run with it.
Grenada moves another step towards stamping out pre-deal larceny. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, April 11th, I am Sherry Noel. The Ministry of Agriculture is working with the Prairial Larceny Task Force of the RGPF to tackle head-on the problem of prairial larceny. They have demonstrated the use of a valuable piece of equipment that they hope will aid in the timely capture of those involved in theft of agricultural produce. Corporal 397 Sam, officer in charge of the Prairial Larceny Department at the Central Division of the Royal Grenada Police Force, says there is a need to step up surveillance to bring the problem under control.
We are here to demonstrate a piece of equipment that both the ministry and a private enterprise are now involved in. Basically, right, this piece of equipment would be used both in the detection, the deterrent of persons wanting to steal. Right, we are now experiencing a very high demand for source-up, and source-up is one of the major problems that we are now experiencing. With that piece of equipment, that would assist us tremendously.
Apart from soursop, a variety of root crops are also stolen from farmers who are fully in support of any method that will help reduce the losses they face as a result of theft.
The demand now for Tanya, and we have now seen a rise in bees, especially them hives, the stealing of the hives from the bee farmers.
So that bit of equipment that you're speaking of, is it one that will be introduced to other farmers on the property in order to help curb the problem?
Yes, definitely. That is why we are out here to try it and see whether or not it's going to be working. And after this, it's going to be introduced to the different farmers within the state. Yeah, it's very much the price of it is very much cheap. So at the end of the day, the farmers, it will be cushioned enough so that they can purchase it.
Chief Extension Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Randall Shares, says the challenges and problems now faced with prairial larceny call for all hands on deck.
We describe some areas as hot spots, where you have some areas that are frequently affected by thieves, right? I may not want to name some of these areas, but there are some areas that we are focusing on, well, the RGPF is focusing on. And although we have the task force from the RGPF, we have farmer registration and a number of systems in place, you still cannot solve all the problems with prairial larceny. But we believe now with the use of that device, we can reduce the problem significantly.
In Grenada, Mr. Shares says there are approximately 9,000 active farmers.
To date, we have registered just a little over just around 7,000 farmers. I cannot give you the exact figure, but it's around 7,000. So farmers are coming forward and register. But what is important to note is that almost all of the hotels, well, all the hotels and the supermarkets, whenever farmers come to sell them stuff, they ask them for the ID, the farmer's registration. And that is a good initiative. That's a good step that the hotels and the supermarkets, restaurants and so on have taken, to ensure that they buy from authentic persons and they don't buy from thieves.
Farmers who are interested in purchasing the equipment and installing it on their farms can do so through the various district offices of the Ministry of Agriculture. Government is placing greater focus on project implementation to ensure it meets the time frame and budgetary preparations. During an interview with the Government Information Service, Minister for Infrastructure Development, Honorable Gregory Boying, said this will ensure greater efficiency in the operations across the board.
What we have done, we have restructured the implementation unit. Previously, for every project that we have, there is a little unit in silos here and there. And we have changed this into an implementation division in a ministry that could look at implementation throughout the government. And this is of critical importance because the World Bank on the last mission, they were very pleased with the way we were doing things. Unknowing to us that these small projects, implementation units that they started in many of the islands, they were not performing too well. And if you only want to do the implemented projects that the World Bank or other donors will have financed, what happened to your internal projects? Then they suffer. But now we're looking at implementation across the board in health, in education, in our ministry, in the Ministry of Finance. all areas. This will mean that things will be flowing smoothly on time.
Minister Bowen also spoke to the progress of government since being re-elected following the March 13 general elections last year.
I would say that we are well on our way on the trajectory to perform as we indicated to the public and to the international community. We are maintaining our growth pattern. We are on our debt to GDP trajectory. You know that we are trying to get to 55% by 2020, although we have a few more years to do so before we would have violated any of the contractual agreements that we've had. We're looking now at our public sector investment program, our energy efficiency, savings, and primarily we are targeting that reduction in the unemployment. It is a big task, but that's one of the things that we have on our program to do.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The eyes of the world are on us more than ever. So let's take it to them. Saturday, May 4th, the Spice Mass Corporation launches Spice Mass 2019. The Caribbean's biggest summer festival. This year's launch starts with a roadshow from Ariza Car Park to the National Stadium from 3 p.m. Bring out your last year's costume and join the parade. It's one big experience with a display of fancy man, traditional man, Moko Jambi, and the most envied Jab Jab. The official opening is at the National Stadium, featuring your favorite soca artists and DJ, Calypso Monarch, Steel Pan Champion, and presentations of the 2019 Carnival Queen contestants, plus displays of 2019 costumes, SMC show tickets, and other attractions to be won. Saturday, May 4th, the National Stadium, the launch of Spice Mass 2019. Bring out the entire family. Log on to spicemassgrenada.com for more.
Welcome back. The Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, CRFM, and CCRIF, SPC, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to develop climate-resilient fisheries and aquaculture industries in the region. The purpose of the MOU is to formalize collaboration among the Caribbean Oceans and Aquaculture Sustainability Facility Coast initiative, which will help to reduce the risk that climate change poses to food security and nutrition and to mitigate climate change impacts on sustainable food production as it relates to the fisheries sector. Specifically, the MOU will facilitate the finalization of a sovereign insurance coast product for the fisheries and aquaculture sectors in the Caribbean. It will also support the rollout of the coast product, including communication to improve awareness and understanding among stakeholders, and training for government officials and professionals in the fisheries and aquaculture sectors. Another major benefit is the promotion of climate-resilient fishing, fish farming, and resource managing practices among CRFM member states. Grenada is being used as a medium for the promotion of peace. The Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light, HWPL, has made a donation of its book to the Grenada National Museum entitled The True Story of Heavenly Culture, World Peace Restoration of Light. The non-profit organization was represented by Mr. Daniel, who gave insights about the documentation of the book, which focuses on resolving conflict.
So what brings us here is we're an international peace organization. We work on education and international law. So on two different sides, we're trying to not only promote peace, but to educate people on the importance of peace and how we really have to tie our hands together to really work hard for peace. So this book that we're documenting here is just a book that really shows the culture of peace and how much peace has started to progress, not only here in Grenada and in the Caribbean, but globally as well.
The book is available and on display at the Grenada National Museum. Mr. Marlon Gittins of the Grenada National Museum expressed his gratitude to the HWPL for approving the book to be used in Grenada for the continuous promotion of peace.
On behalf of the Grenada National Museum, I'd like to thank you guys for coming and for allowing the book to be displayed in the National Museum.
The HWPL will return to Grenada soon. And that's the National Report for Thursday, April 11th. I am Sherian Noel.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.